backfield, catches it for a touchdown.
Would you look at that?
Evergreen. Would you look at that? Cool with the big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice. Last week, and it's feeling pretty good about what the team's going to do tonight. So,
when you were talking about just before we went on the air, Kelso's history of being a really good running team.
yes.
So we'll see if that holds true for this spring season after a 15-month
right.
layoff away from football. Who knows what can change in 15 months.
That is true. That is true.
So Matt Griffin here from EPS Sports, pinch hitting for Ryan Vastbinder,
Yep.
who is out tonight, but he will return next week. And I believe next week's games are on Thursday night. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. And so here we are.
And so if you guys haven't, if you guys were able to see what was going on here, we, Heritage did win the coin toss. And so they are going to be receiving the ball first on this first half of the game here. We had some coaches step into the broadcast booth here. We with the COVID situation, just trying to make sure everybody is practicing social distancing, and we have to make sure that these other coaches are in an area where the social distancing works. So you might hear a little noise and ruckus behind us as these guys come in here and try to get set up, just to give you an idea of what's going on. But it looks like we are ready to start this game and start watching some high school football, something that's been long awaited. I know as a fan, I am excited about it happening, and I can guarantee that these kids are super excited about it. So here we go. And we have started this game off. Low kick. It's going to get picked up right there at the 15-yard line. Nice little run, trying to move that back towards the middle of the field. He just refused to go down. Great field position as he's going to get down across the 30-yard line. And that is going to be Caden Bold. I did find out that I mispronounced this young man's name wrong all last week, so I do have have it corrected now. So hopefully we'll go ahead and get that taken care of.
So we'll do our best to
get this all taken care of. Starting quarterback for the T-Wolves is Isaac Washington, number 23. Running back is Andre Cowley, number 42. Cowley takes the ball for the first time in the game. Nice yardage run there. He'll get
picks up probably 5.
Yep, he sure does. Good blocking out there in front of him.
Well, we're talking about coronavirus protocols and distancing. We will not have, for those folks who've missed any of our broadcasts, instant replay tonight because of how we have to set up our live truck.
Another handoff off the right side of the line there. Cowley's going to get a few more yards. Looks like they are going to spot him at the 41-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
That's Caden Bolts coming back into the game.
Cowley looks like he may have tweaked his ankle a little bit and trying to walk that off and get himself back in the game as soon as possible. Alex Anderson also headed into the game. Anderson and Culp, the 2 receivers down here at the bottom of your screen. Quarterback lead play as Isaac takes the ball for himself. He looks like he's going to be just short of the first down, bringing up the 4th down. Nope, they are going to give him with the placement, so that will move the chains. 2-yard carry there for Mr. Washington. 1st and 10 for the T-Wolves.
Eli Reynolds running into the huddle. And he's going to head towards the top of your screen with Anderson.
All right, we have a delay of game call on the T-Wolves. So that is going to back them up 5.
And this is something you and I tried to figure out the first game, because they had game clocks and we couldn't really see anything on them. And now they have moved them off the field and I do not see a game clock. So I don't know how the players are supposed to know.
Well, the back judge here, when it hits 5 seconds, he raises his hand.
Oh,
and
I
they
see.
have
Okay.
to be
All right.
aware of that when that happens. Send a man in motion. Nice little flare out to Bolds. Bolds is going to get a couple of those back as he makes it back to the 40-yard line.
I would sure appreciate that big clock instead of looking for one guy on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
When I have my head down and a defensive lineman charging at me.
Parker was the man in motion on that play.
Brady Culp and Anderson coming to the near side of the screen.
This time they break the huddle. 2 receivers in the backfield. Looks like there's a little confusion. The head coach there is going to call timeout, get everybody regrouped and understand. Dennis Moody, the head coach for the Heritage T-Wolves. Looks like he's also the OC for the team. So this is just a little different than the last week when we had this. They moved that these guys had a slow start as well, and then the game ended up, doing a little bit there in the third and the fourth quarter, right?
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully these guys will be able to get a little more momentum a little sooner. The offense doesn't really be seen to set up for like real big plays. It's kind of ground and pound. A lot like Kelso, just different formations. No real long passes down the field. A lot of running. Cowley carried the load pretty much last week, if I remember correctly.
Kelso really read that play.
Yeah, they sure did. Washington had nowhere to go on that play. Was trying to get the ball out to Caleb Lemire, but number 4. But was not able to do that. Kelso pretty much crushed that right side of the line out there and just came right through. Line up 2 receivers. And drops back. Now looks like he's going to get flushed out of the pocket. Sees a man down the field, is going to let it go. That ball is going to be intercepted on the tip.
And a flag on the play on the near side. So we'll see what they say.
And that is going to be Caleb Cooper for Kelso, who was there to pick that ball off the tip. Flag right there on the field, right there about the 42-yard line. And we've got a holding against Kelso, so that's going to negate the interception. And
certainly a break for Heritage,
it
but
sure
I mean,
is.
they're still at 3rd and 18.
Yeah, well, this ought to get them just in between the chains here.
Right.
Well, just outside the chains.
Okay.
So we're still looking at, 3rd and 10. There are a couple of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 10, but there isn't any for 3rd and 18. So, they've got a better chance here. Reynolds now lines up on the far side of the field. 2 other receivers join him out there for 3. Lone running back. Washington drops back, tries to get Lemire, not able to get that ball out to him as he Bounces it off the turf right there in front of him. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and the punt team for Heritage shows up. So Colby Cooper, number 11, is going to be the deep man for Kelso. There's a young man right there hanging around the 30-yard line, waiting to receive this punt. Short punt, but it does take a Heritage bounce. It looks like it's going to die right there in between the 30 and 35. Looks like it'll be down right on the 34-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Kelso as they come out for the first time tonight. Their quarterback starting out there is Hunter Latier, is the starting quarterback for the Kelso Highlanders. They run a more traditional type offense. They do have a fullback in the field. So we see Nate Lohner and fake the pitch, and the quarterback's going to keep this, but there is nowhere for him to go, as that looks like Jack Warren, who is the outside backer for the Timberwolves, who comes up and makes that stop right away, catching him right there at the line of scrimmage. Connor Noah, the running back for Kelso. So like I said, more traditional style offense for these guys. You'll see a lot of power running. And
good stop.
Once again, nowhere to go for the running back, Noah. Like they will give him about a yard, got him to the 35-yard line, so they'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Slot receivers line up on the far side. Latier steps out, looks for a man up the field. Threw that in the general area of Cooper, but Cooper was well covered there by the defensive corner. And now both teams of 3 and out, their first series out here in this first quarter. Kelso set up for the punt. He does get this one away. It was Aiden Miller decided to let that one just hit the turf and roll out. So the ball gets down at, it looks like, the 26-yard line. So Kelso, Heritage, their second series of the game. Yeah, may have had too many people on the field. Parker just ran off. We'll see if he got off in time. He did, no flag.
Now he is back.
He sure is. Well, it's Cowley on the carry. Looks like he gets barely a yard, and it'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Eli Reynolds out wide on the near side.
This time they have wing in the formation. Send the man in motion. Bowles, the sophomore, in motion, trying to head upfield and lay a block there for Cowley. Unable to get a real good block, but Cowley able to push for another yard. Maybe yard and a half. Is going to bring up 3rd down now and 7. All right, now Heritage running a lot of players in and out of the game right now. They break this formation with slot receivers on either side. And we've got another delay of game penalty. So it looks like that is going to just be something that we're dealing with here. I didn't pay attention that time to see if the official actually raised his hand. But, I mean, that's an old trick, or an old rule, I should say, by the officials. And the kids should be aware that at least the quarterback should always be looking for that. That ball is going to get picked off there by Cooper.
Yeah, he's got a lot of open field.
It looks like he might get this one back for a pick 6, and he does. And that is going to put Kelso on the scoreboard first tonight on a defensive effort on a pick 6 from the young sophomore quarterback who's out there on the field playing right now, and that is number 15, Osborne. So they've kind of gone back and forth between Isaac Washington and Osborne. Osborne throws the pick. Cooper for Kelso runs that back for the touchdown. Mason Smith now to kick it. And that's going to be good.
That's good.
So 4:56 left to play in the first quarter, and we have our first score on the board. Kelso's up 7-0 over Heritage.
That's the first extra point we've seen tonight.
Yes, it
is. For folks who didn't watch the first game, we saw a rare 6 two-point conversions.
Yeah, it sure did. 6 touchdowns, 6 two-point conversions.
Between Prairie and Mountain View.
Good job there. So, he just kind of let that one go. I mean, he had a guy in the general vicinity, but, he didn't really step into that pass because the receiver had gotten behind Cooper. And if he had aired that one out, he may have had a better it could have been a big play, and 6 points would have been on the other side of the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think he might have been better off to tuck that in and maybe try and run it out himself.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of his offensive line way downfield at that point.
He sure did. He sure did. So Mason Smith handling all the kicking responsibilities tonight for the Highlanders. This kick is off, and it'll be fielded at the 11. Bolds breaks it to the outside, and it looks like he's going to get run out of bounds at about the 33-yard line, and Heritage will take the ball over there. Isaac Washington back in the game as the quarterback. First and 10. Also needs to be careful. I mean, Heritage has to be careful about how many men they break out of their huddle. Kelso is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, we saw that one play last game where Mountain View bringing on a player late.
Yeah.
Just kind of miscommunication and came in just before the snap, ended up being offsides. But yeah, you got to be careful about how many people you're running on and off the field in short notice.
Yeah, you sure do, because they can call a penalty on you for having too many men in the huddle. And that's the second time that they have been real close with getting caught with that one. So we'll see if that's something that they're going to pay attention to, or, it's going to be something that they let slide this evening. But Heritage does run a lot of people in and out. They use Looks like they use receivers and sometimes running backs to run the plays into the game. So
Right.
there's a lot of people going in and out of the huddle. This time they break with a 2 running back set. Washington's rolling out, trying to find a man. Pretty much just lets that one go, and he's going to throw that one out of bounds. The only receiver close to him is number 9, and I do believe that is Alex Anderson, the sophomore.
Yes.
Breaks the huddle. Isaac drops back. This time he brings that down and decides to run on his own. He is going to get brought down at about the 37-yard line, bringing up a 3rd down and manageable.
Yeah, he noticed the coverage on his receivers and did like I suggested earlier.
Bring that one down.
Yep.
Go ahead and take that one himself.
And he's going to get a little extra thanks to a penalty against the Highlanders.
And that will move them into Highlander territory. Whitecap rolls the clock as we continue to play. 4:31 left to play in the first quarter. Oh, the ball is going to be fumbled. And we have got another turnover by Heritage. This time just not a real good handoff, not a good mesh on that handoff there. Bolds was the man in motion. Looks like he was going to get the handoff for the fly sweep and was unable to keep that in his hands.
Well, it's a disappointing way to respond to a free first down.
Yeah, it sure
from
is.
That, off that Kelso penalty.
So Kelso able to capitalize on the first mistake of Heritage with the pick 6 defensively. Let's see if the offense now can capitalize on the turnover here. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he is going to get about a yard out of that before he is taken down. All right, Latier has them lined up. And that looks like that's going to be movement against Kelso, so that's going to back them up 5. Making it 2nd and 14. Nate Launer, the up back. Connor Noah, the running back. Sends a man in motion. Drops back. It looks like there might have been a little miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver on that play. Jaden Kay, number 80. Was who Latier had his eyes on. Colby Cooper back in the game. This time he's played running back, and this time it looks like he's going to line up as a wide receiver. Trips formation. Latier rolls out, looking for his man. Makes the catch right there at the 48-yard line. And they'll spot him at about the 49. Great catch there by Kay.
Here comes the kicking crew for Kelso.
Nice swarm tackling there by the T-Wolves defense, not allowing him to get any more yards after the catch on that play.
I thought, there we go.
This time Harris decides to pick that ball up. Bolts tries to fake him out a little bit, make them think that he was going to
Call for the fair catch.
call for the fair catch, and then jumps up and gets that one. Pretty decent kick there by the kicker, Jaden Kay, or I should say the punter. It's a good job there for the Heritage defense, not allowing the Highlanders to capitalize on that last turnover. 1st and 10, going back the other way. Parker goes into motion. Hands the ball off, finds the edge. Tries to lower his shoulder to get the extra yards, and they're going to show him down at the 40-yard line. He's got to be a little careful on that play for Mr. Cowley. Make sure that that was a lowering of the shoulder and not necessarily a lowering of the head. Connor Noah credited for the stop. 2nd and 2. This time they're going to give the ball to Parker. Parker looks for the edge. He is not able to find it as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, but there is a penalty flag on the play. Looks like it might be holding against Heritage. And that is the call. So that will back them up 10, and they'll redo 2nd down. Caleb Lemire checks into the game, and we see Andre Cowley come out. Looks like Reynolds goes into the game with the play. Comes and sets up down here at the bottom of a screen. Parker in motion. This time another fumble.
I think
and Kelso is going to get on top of this one again. So they have to be real careful with the handoffs. That's twice now that they didn't get a good mesh on the handoff. And a whole lot is happening because, you know, they're trying to do the misdirection thing.
Right.
So it's a lot of timing there.
Well, and at the start of that play, you saw Eli Reynolds coming to the near side to be the receiver on the wide side out, and having to weave in between his offensive linemen. So, like you said, got to be real careful about the timing of all that.
Yeah, you sure do. Well, Kelso, once again, another turnover. Let's see if they're going to be able to take advantage of this. Latier now gets the ball to Cooper. Cooper trying to find the edge. It looks like he might have wanted to throw this initially. Wisely steps out of bounds. At about the 19-yard line. So he was able to get some positive yards on this. I think this might have been set up to be a trick play, and he was supposed to try to hit the receiver downfield.
Let's go, D.
Because Jaden Kay had released upfield and found himself behind the defense. So you have to be careful for that play. Powerhouse set here. Right up the middle. Bolts there to make the stop. They're going to make it down to the 15-yard line.
Enough for another first down for Kelso.
No other running back on that play. Ethan Moyer checks into the game. He's lined up as a receiver on the far side. Powerhouse lineup again. Noah the carrier once again. He'll get down to the 11 this time.
Those last two plays, Kelso's offensive line doing a really good job of clearing a hole in the middle.
Yeah, they sure are getting a good push. And they've got both those two big fullbacks in the game. It's like one of them just actually came back out. So they're back to the original setup there with the fullback. And Noah breaks that to the outside. Nice open field tackle there by the corner. Caleb Lemire saves the touchdown.
I don't think we'll have time for any more action before we swap sides of the field
And you
for
are
the second
correct.
quarter.
So that does end our first quarter of play here. The Heritage T-Wolves and the Kelso Highlanders in the first quarter. Kelso on top, 7-0. So far, the only ones have scored is the defense.
That's exactly right. A couple big turnovers there.
Kelso's looking like they might possibly be able to take advantage of this last turnover by Heritage. Heritage seeming to have some problems with the handoffs. The mesh of that handoff just does not seem to be working real well with him tonight. So 2 fumbles on plays where he had to do multiple fakes before he actually gave it to the actual running back. So they have something that they just need to be careful of. Just the timing's off just a little bit. I want to welcome you here to the second quarter. This is EPS Sports. Rodney Lawrence, Matt Griffin here with me tonight. I want to thank you guys at Comcast Channel 29 for joining us, and the folks on the internet from all over on the Evergreen School District channel. So thank you for being a part of this.
Reminder, that our live stream tonight will stay up on YouTube. We'll also upload a condensed file of tonight's games to our EPS Sports channel on our YouTube channel, our playlist rather, EPS Sports playlist on our YouTube channel. And then this game and the earlier game tonight will receive extra plays on Comcast throughout the next month or so. So plenty of chances to see the game if you're not tuning in right now.
Latier sends his man in motion. Latier's going to keep this one. Nice hard run up the middle. Looks like he'll make it down to the 5 before he stopped. Melnick Jr., number 35 linebacker, comes up to make the stop there at the 5-yard line.
Rodney, I didn't see that, but holding on Kelso, that's going to walk them back.
Yeah, there's the flag. Looks like the holding was right there around the line of scrimmage, so that will back them up to the 19-yard line. Third and 15. Latier's just on an option pitch out. Nice downhill run back to the 10 for the running back Noah. Tell you what, Heritage, they're a pretty good tackling bunch. They don't miss a whole lot of tackles.
Right.
These guys, you can see that Noah thought he was going to be able to go in there and kind of punch his way through that, and they stopped him in his tracks right there on the 10-yard line. 4th and 5.
Lining up for a field goal attempt.
got the plant, the kick. That looks like that is long enough, and it is on point. So Kelso, again, able to capitalize on a turnover as they push the score now to 10-0.
3 points credited to Mason Smith, Jr. from Kelso.
It's a pretty good kicker. He made that look pretty effortless. I mean, he had some extra distance on that too. It can make a big difference if you got a kicker. If you got somebody who can do something like that,
Right.
You can get in, but you get, 35, 40 yards in, and you got somebody who can kick that, you're good.
And yeah, no reason to leave points unspoken for.
Yeah, exactly. So defensively, Heritage actually playing a pretty good game. Offense, they're just a bit of a struggle there. Just holding on to the ball and being consistent about being able to move that ball down the field seems to be a problem for them right now. So hopefully on this series, they'll be able to overcome that.
Ball fell off the tee, so they're going to reset.
Looks like you might have, there we go. We might need a spotter if it falls off there again. All right, looks like we are ready to go. Low driving kick. Simon's going to get away from him, and he's going to pick it up right about the 3-yard line. Nice spin move that's going to get him across the 15 down to about the 25.
Yeah, picking up the ball that deep into Kelso territory. It looked a little dangerous at first, but he manages to pull it off out to, what, the 23-yard line or so?
He sure does. The sophomore Aiden Miller. Brave young man to pick the ball up right there and still get it out past the 20. Which at the end of the day makes it worthwhile for picking it up. If you're going to pick it up, you better get it past the 20. All right, pistol formation. Bolts in motion. Osmond is in for the quarterback.
It was good to get a hand on that because I believe that was number 6.
Yeah, it was. He could have
from Ethan Moyer was ready for that interception if he'd not gotten a hand on it.
No, you are correct. Osmond looks like he's back in the game, and they. It looks like when they're trying to throw the ball a little more, they kind of bring him in. Osmond, a young quarterback there, only a sophomore. Bolt in motion again. It's going to drop back. And it looks like you got a penalty real quick that's going to stop the play. So that's going to be against Heritage, as that's going to back them up 5. Looks like that was another miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. Aiden Miller had actually cut his route off. He wasn't, and Osmond threw the ball like it was a streak route. So little misunderstanding on what was supposed to be run on that play. Osmond still in the game as the quarterback. This time he's going to hand it off to Cowley. Cowley fights his way through the first tackle. Was not going to get much. Still does not quite get back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like they're going to lose a yard on this play. We'll make it third down and 16. Reynolds runs the play in. Howley, the running back, looks like there was a broken play. Quarterback may have turned the wrong way, looking to hand that ball off. Seeing a little bit of frustration there from the offense on that series. Not too many plays went right on that series right there.
Callie definitely upset by how that one was read.
Yep, sure was. Well, that'll bring up 4th and a lot. So
and there they are talking it over on the sidelines. Quick shot of that before we get the punt.
Cooper sets to pick the punt up. He is just going to let it kind of roll out. Starts to take a Kelso roll, and it gets picked up. So Kelso's going to get the ball in very good field position. 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Kelso, one of the few teams in the league that still huddles to tell their plays. Cooper. Nice run by Cooper as he makes it out to the 30-yard line. He was able to collect 8 yards on that play. 7 yards on that play. We'll bring up 2nd down and 3. All right, formation back to power set up, fullback set up to the right side. Drops back looking for, has a man open, going to try and drop it in there on him, almost the touchdown. The intended receiver was big number 80. Jaden Kay.
Had it into his hands, but
almost was able to bring that one in. Nice pass there by the quarterback, Latier. Safety was coming over late, so he perfectly thrown ball. If Kay was able to bring that in, we would have been they'd have been celebrating a nice play and a big touchdown here in this 2nd quarter. That'll bring up 3rd and 3. Hand off to Noah.
It's going to be close.
Sure is. We'll see the way where it's spotted. And that is going to be 4th down. It's like 4th and an inch or 4th and a yard here.
Zeke Smith from the Highlanders coming into the game. And he's going out wide at the top of your screen.
This is the diamond formation, a very power formation. Nice little sidestep by the running back, Noah, to get him out there and across the 25-yard line. We'll make it down to, it looks like the 24, and it'll be 1st down. Strong right, 2 slot receivers on the far right side. Pitch out option, Noah tries to find the edge, and he is not going to be able to. Great open field tackle there by Caleb Lemaire. And Kelso is going to lose yardage on this play. 2nd and 13.
Heritage responding really well on this series of downs.
Yeah, they sure are.
To Kelso's great field position.
This time the power is set to the left side of the field. Quarterback just tries to keep that, turns it upfield. Like he's going to get down to about the 26. All right, Latier now set up. Changes the power on the play. Great tackling job out there to keep his gain there to a minimal.
Heritage defense happy about that.
Bringing up 4th down. Kelso looks like they are going to go for it. 4 down territory for him, it looks like right here. Referee calls timeout. I don't know if we have a, looks like we may have an equipment problem out there. So they swap out linemen. Dawson Shody gets in for the play to handle the starter, gets his helmet set up. Latier steps back looking for a man. Going to overthrow everybody out there. Looks like the intended receiver may have been number 9, Tegan Connor. And Kelso will turn the ball over on downs. So nice defensive stance there by the T-Wolves. It's time for the offense to get some movement here and get some points here on the board, because what we'll run into is the defense fatigue if they get to stand out there too long.
Right.
And then Kelso is going to give themselves more opportunities to get some more points on the board. Osmond, the quarterback. Another handoff right up the middle. Nice run there by Cowley. Nice 9-yard run. We'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Brady Culp out wide on the near side.
This time fly sweep to Parker. Parker finds the edge.
It's going to be enough.
It will be enough to get the 1st down. Clock stopped at 4:28 left to play in the first half. Kelso on top of this ball game. 10-0 at this time. You guys are just joining us. First 6 points were as a pick 6, and then they were able to get a field goal later on in the half, in the quarter. Looking for an opening, and he is going to be there to make the catch this time, and that's with the 2 sophomores there.
Alex Anderson with the grab in. He was in a fair amount of traffic, so
He sure was.
and way to kneel down in on it.
And that right there, I think, was our glimpse at what kind of quarterback Osmond is going to be as he matures. That was great as he stepped into it. It was a bullet. I mean, he had to put it there. Hands off to Bolts. Bolts turns up the field, spins himself across midfield. Looks like he'll make it to about the 48-yard line. Second and 8.
Heritage offense showing a little shot of confidence.
Yeah, a
on
little
this
life.
drive. Yeah.
Little life, yeah.
Shake off some of those mistakes earlier in that first quarter.
Osmond now has them set up. Motion man once again. This time Cowley is going to take the ball. He's going to get down to the 45 and get the first down. There's some grinded out hard-nosed football right here. Two running back set this time. Nice run there by the
Found a
running
really
back
nice
as he
hole
gets down
there.
past the 35. Cowley starting to find his groove out here. Good push there by the offensive line. On that run, and that is going to move the chains right away. Reynolds tries it again. This time he is not going to get anything. Looks like he's going to actually lose possibly a yard on this play, that fly sweep. Didn't work for him that time. Number 15 for Kelso. Actually, the quarterback's playing both sides tonight. Hunter Latier steps across and makes that stop. Yard loss on the play, second down. Sits back, has a man open. Aiden's right there to catch the ball for the touchdown. There is going to be a pass interference on this as well. Noah right there all over him. A great move, great athletic move there by Alex Anderson. Two good plays between him and the quarterback in this series. And this time they're going to get it in there for 6. Yeah, there's a glimpse. There was another look at that.
Yeah.
At what he can be for this team. You know, their original starting quarterback, Nicky Smith, like I said, got hurt and not able to. He won't play for the rest of the year. So this gives Osmond an opportunity to get on the field and just get some reps. And then it looks like there might be a fight for the starting job next year if Nicky Scott is able to make it back, because he is only a junior.
Well, and that was just a tremendous drive from Heritage, and
Yeah.
the extra point is good. So Heritage back in it after some early mistakes, but responding well. What a great drive. I mean, they drove that, 78 yards or so?
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. Back within 3.
Just over a minute and a half left in this first half.
Momentum seemed to be shifting over to Heritage's side. Defensively, Heritage played a great series.
Well,
And for them to come back.
Yeah, great job on the defense, and you know we talked about a couple of those dropped handoff plays, and the offensive line had a long talk over here on the sidelines.
They sure did.
And they were sorting it out for several plays while Prairie had possession.
Kelso.
Sorry, I'm thinking to the first game.
Right, the first
game. Sounds like they sorted it out.
Yeah, they did figure it out. So that penalty is going to be assessed here on the kickoff, which is why Heritage will be kicking the ball off from Kelso's 45-yard line. Referee down there giving instructions.
Vitaly Melnick, the kicker.
And we are ready to go. Full on expect this one to be into the end zone. We'll see here. Kind of lets it bounce right there in the front. And that's going to roll. He picks it up, finds an opening. Oh, there he goes down the field. He's going to find some good blocking out there out front. Now the ball, he is not going to get caught. This is going to be a run back for a touchdown, 102 yards touchdown.
He just found just enough open field.
He sure did.
And only had two Heritage players in front of him, and one great block.
That block by Kay,
yes.
Number 80 on the sidelines. Jaden Kay's block is the one who freed this up. So, we're giving the kudos to Heritage about getting back in this game, and special teams beats them. So Kelso back on top by 2 scores here. Kind of take the wind out of the sails for the Heritage team right there. Smith.
And that is going to be
Hooks
good.
that through, and they're on top by 10 once again. Sometimes when the ball bounces like that and it gets away from it, it messes up all the timing. And, then everybody is over pursued, and all he's got to do is make a couple of people miss, and he's in the wide open field, which is what we saw.
Well, and, everybody knows you got to get down the field fast. And if it takes a wild bounce, like you said, everybody's already down there, and there's plenty of open field on the other side.
Yeah, there sure is. There sure is. I'm really surprised he picked it up, but I don't know I wasn't quite sure if he touched it before it went in there, which means he had to.
Right.
Or if he just was gutsy and decided he was going to pick it up and try it anyway. All right, Heritage lined up out on the field. They run 3 men deep. All 3 of them standing inside the 15-yard line. Kelso ready for the kickoff. It's a high bounce, but able to corral that right about the 10. Nice strong run, gets him back to the 20-yard line.
So Heritage with just under a minute and a half to see if they can string something together and have less steep of a hill to climb.
As we go into half here. J.S. Lewis, the ball carrier on that, gets him back to the 20. Aiden Miller now in the game, lines up in the slot. Quarterback drops back, kind of wings this one. They're not going to call a pass interference on that. Heritage sidelines, kind of looking for one. Oh,
no,
there's the penalty flag.
There is the flag, yeah.
So we'll see. The guy right there in front of it didn't throw his flag, but the guy, we'll see what got a conversation now. We'll see ultimately what they come up with here. Well, they are going to stick with the glazer. I guess he had a better view. So that'll be marched off, and Heritage will start with a fresh set of downs. First and 10 from the 35-yard line. Osmond, quarterback, sets him down. Osmond drops back, looking for a receiver out in the flats. In and out of the hands of his receiver. That was Lemire. Second and 10. He's got a pretty good sidearm when he's
right.
kind of just slinging that one out there like that. Good shot of the huddle there. They're trying to get it right. Conversation with all the players. Reynolds runs the play in.
The number's a little bit easier to see tonight.
Yes, they
Instead
are.
of last week's driving rainstorm.
Yeah, it sure is.
We got a timeout here.
Heritage, yes. Heritage is going to take a timeout, talk about it a little bit. I think it's real important that these guys show some kind of, something good to talk about at halftime, some momentum in these this last minute and 19 left to play. Something to kind of work on. Isaac Washington down there on the sidelines, not quite sure what happened there, if he got hurt or injured or something. But it seems like Osmond has taken the majority of the snaps since the second quarter. Or not, he's taken all of the snaps, I take it back.
I'm going to take a moment to shout out our crew tonight. Wade Ferguson, director in the truck, Maisie Copeland, Jacob Taylor, and Robert Frank on camera. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Couldn't do it without you guys. All right, wind the clock, ready to go. Lemire goes in motion. Tries to hit Lemire in the flat. Oh, almost picked off. Threw it right into the arms of the defender on that play.
Tegan Connors almost had a great pick on that one.
Yeah, that'd have been a pick six, too. He'd have been gone if he'd have been able to hold on to that one. Osmond kind of backed out of that one kind of weird. Didn't really step into the pass. It looks like he kind of threw that one off his back foot as well. This time we're going to get a handoff. Nice hole right up the middle. Cowley gets down across the 40, down to the 38. Minute 7 left to play. And we've got another timeout on the field. Like both teams now have a timeout left in the first half. Heritage looking at a 4th down and 3 situation.
And I do believe they've called on Vitaly Melnick to punt.
It does look like they have. Cooper, the deep man for Kelso. He is able to get that one off and end over end. Kind of sat up right there at the 34-yard line. Kind of see here what Kelso is planning to do for the last minute and 7 seconds of this half. Heritage coaching staff being content with trying to go into the half with the score being 7-17. Kelso comes in with 3 receivers to the far side. Screen pass to the far side. He's going to get run out of bounds, stopping the clock at 1:02.
I think they'll give him 9 yards on that. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Yep, we'll add that to Cooper's stat card. This time they moved the trips to the bottom of the screen here on the wide side of the field. Cooper, the outside receiver. Trying to find Jaden Kay on that one, unable to make the completion. That'll stop the clock at 58 seconds. This time Cooper lines up on the inside. Oh, mishandles the snap, and Kelso is going to lose all the yardage that they had, so it'll bring up now 3rd down. And we got another timeout here. Good timeout call. Coach thinking maybe he's got an opportunity to get some points on the board before they go in, since that miscue on that play brought up a 4th down. And looks like 4th and 6. 4th and 7, I would say. So we'll just kind of see what's going on there. Kelso hasn't thrown a lot, but I mean, this is definitely going to be an opportunity where you think they might, or a screen or something like that, if they decide that they're going to decide to kick it away, it looks like, and just play the field position game instead of taking the chance of turning the ball over down here and giving these guys a better opportunity to score. So Kay's going to kick the ball, and Miller stands alone back there at about the 30. Well, that was almost a mishap right there.
Oh, yeah. Again, a little bit of confusion with whether he was calling fair catch again or...
He called fair catch and he let it bounce, and he looks like he tried to catch it. So Heritage with no timeouts left, 41 seconds left to play in the quarter, and they've got 70 yards to go for a touchdown. I was looking at their kicker earlier in the game. They'll definitely need to get down inside the 20 to give their guy a good opportunity to get 3 points on the board. Anderson breaks out as the outside receiver. Five seconds left before the snap the ball. Has Cowley on a flare route. On that play, you would have liked to have seen Cowley just keep running up the field and then step out of bounds instead of cut that back towards the middle of the field. Because now the clock continues to run and they have no timeouts.
Time for one more if they hurry it up.
And there's a penalty, a little too many people moving on that play. Well, actually, it wasn't movement. It looks like they just, the lineup was not what the coach was expecting. See if they're going to decline that or heard them talking about take it.
Just 2 seconds left on the clock. And we'll pause for some news and information from around Evergreen Public Schools. I believe some of it reported by yours truly.
That is correct.
I'm here and then I'm there.
There you go. And that, as soon as they said it, that ended the first half of play here. Kelso Highlanders 17, Heritage T-Wolves 7. Exciting game. There's still a whole lot more game to play, and it's nobody's game just yet. We'll see you on the other side of the halftime. This is EPS Sports, Rodney Lawrence and Matt Griffin. We'll see you then.
Hello, I'm Matt Griffin with this EPS Inspires moment. Over the course of Remote Learning 2.0, we've been showing you how our high school choir programs are rising to the challenge of singing together even when they must be apart. Today, how those high school choir programs came together to form the largest choir of its kind in district history. Since its debut in 2018, Let the Music Fill Your Soul by Jacob Narvarud and Robert Bodie has become a favorite of choir programs around the country. So, when the idea came about to sing it as part of a joint virtual choir, the high school choir directors of Evergreen Public Schools invited the composers to speak with students about the creative process.
We're really excited to welcome you to this conversation with composer Jacob Narvarud. He's coming to us from Kansas.
I teach at Ohio State University.
Composer Jacob Narvarud and composer and poet Robert Bodie answered questions from students about their creative process and how their collaboration came about.
When you're composing, how do you choose what time signature?
Yeah, good question. So when I'm composing, how do I decide what time signatures and key signatures to use? So it just depends on, really it all goes to the poetry. It all comes from the text.
And I started thinking about the fact that we are just so much, that each one of us is a hero, and each one of us is an artist, and each one of us is a singer. And so I wanted to write something that would welcome all of those people to this performance.
Evergreen High School Choir Director Margaret Green says the joint super choir, if you will, represents the same sort of creative and collaborative process for students.
The hope is the culmination, when they hear the finished product, they feel like they were a part of creating something. And that's, maybe the best of what we can offer them in this time of online learning and virtual learning. That's what I kind of hope that they get, that it was a really unique thing that we were able to do during this challenging time for choirs.
And for the students who took part, they say as much as they enjoyed this virtual choir, it will be even better when our choirs can sing it in person once again.
Really just singing with each other again, because when you go through something like this, you just realize how much you actually like singing with people and not being alone singing by yourself.
Honestly, it makes me feel like we have a sense of hope. Like we're all going to, come together for this one piece, even while there's other things going on in the world, So I just feel like, there was just a sense of hope.
And now, the largest joint high school choir in the history of Evergreen Public Schools. More than 160 singers in all, performing Let the Music Fill Your Soul by Jacob Narvarud and Robert Bodie.
Our fellow Americans.
Right now, the COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans.
And soon, they will be available to everyone.
The science is clear. These vaccines will protect you and those you love from this dangerous and deadly disease.
They could save your life.
So we urge you to get vaccinated when it's available to you.
That's the first step to ending the pandemic and moving our country forward. It's up to you.
Hello and welcome to the CPS Inspires Update. I'm Craig Birnbeck. And while we're excited to be welcoming more and more students back into our buildings, there are some systems that have been developed during the pandemic that can benefit students in every learning scenario. That's definitely the case with the awesome targeted tutoring program where Union High School students are helping middle and elementary school kids stay on track.
But now we're going to break it down even more.
That's Union High School senior Astoria Moore helping out a group of Burnt Bridge Creek students.
What's 500 minus 20?
Actually, she's more than just helping out. She's tutoring them in math.
So I just want them to be the most comfortable with math that they possibly can be.
This is all part of a targeted tutoring program that pairs top Union High School students with elementary and middle school students for online sessions.
What we're doing is we're writing down 494. There's about 20 really committed tutors right now.
The idea started with Kelsey Burris, Union High School's STEM Academy advisor.
So here you go. We were able to start actually at Frontier Middle School with this focused tutoring program where we work with the teachers to identify students that need help, and then they help provide our high school students with activities.
Osvaldo, who is your math teacher this year?
Burris and other staff members are there to advise and monitor the actual tutoring sessions, but it's the high school students who are really managing the program.
So now where are we going to put the 10 to add it correctly? I guess it's really nice when, you get the actual response from the kids and it seems like they're actually learning something.
And this program is a win-win as the younger students and older students are both benefiting.
Bye, thank you for helping me even though I was behind.
They're learning. Yes, their assignments have really changed. They get a lot more things correct because they have the tutor that's helping them.
I guess it's been an opportunity to improve my communication just in general.
What is 4 times 3? Do you guys know?
But this isn't just about the lesson plans. This is about life lessons, mentoring, and just connecting.
The kids are definitely asking more questions than they would in a class with a teacher because they're less shy of these high schoolers. They think of them as their sibling, as mentors.
Oh, I had the biggest smile on my face. It's such a big compliment for people to be like, oh, I can relate to you, or that helped me out so much.
Now, while this program was born during the pandemic, the hope is that it will continue to grow even when we get back to what we consider more normal school.
Just yesterday, we opened it up to even the dual immersion program because we got a Spanish tutor. So every week, we just keep growing and growing.
Good job, guys. I think making an impact on people is the best possible legacy you could ever leave.
And we'll see you next week, hopefully. It's great to see all of you.
District administrators are working with school staff and the Union High School students to grow this program even more, and the hope is it will continue for years to come. For Evergreen Public Schools, I'm Craig Burnback.
I hear someone go, "Didn't it come from you guys?"
Strangers cough at me.
Move away from me.
Someone spit towards my direction. All the stereotypes that we've worked so hard to break are just going to be reversed. And I won't let that happen.
We all have to play our part.
I donate my plasma.
I've been making masks.
We deserve respect as much as everybody else.
I'm a firefighter, not a virus.
I'm a mask maker, not a virus.
I'm a nurse.
I'm a delivery woman, chef, a neighbor, artist,
Bus driver.
I'm a doctor.
Fight the virus. Fight the virus.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
Here's a look at how you can keep up to date with Evergreen Public Schools on social media. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/EvergreenPS. Follow us on Twitter at EvergreenPS. Our Instagram account is evergreen_public_schools. And check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/EvergreenSchools.
Middle of the football field, catches it for a touchdown. Would you look at that? Evergreen, would you look at that? Cool with the big three. Great. Takes it all the way now. Nice. Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you back here to the second half of the Kelso Heritage football game. If you're just now joining us, Kelso is on top of this game, 17-7, leading by 10.
I think the most impressive part of that one was the 102-yard touchdown run.
It sure was, right before the end of the first quarter. And that was number 11. That was Kobe Cooper.
Well,
Picks that ball up and takes it back 102 yards.
And as they were Kelso was about to take that last punt return, I heard somebody shouting out for 103, but I think he was maybe overestimating how far down that football was going to go on that that punt. So
most
not a
definitely.
chance for a 103-yard punt return.
No, not this time. Not this time. So both teams ready to take the field here. Going to run down the last minute and 15 seconds of halftime.
So, Coach Moody, what is he going to be telling his players during that halftime
Well,
break?
the cool thing about the way we got everything set up with the pandemic and everything is I could actually hear what he was saying when I was standing down there.
And that's the thing to explain for people at home, because of the pandemic, no crowd here in McKenzie Stadium, and they're not sending teams into the locker room. They're having to socially distance in the stands or on the sidelines to have their conversations with players.
So, I'm pretty animated, as you would imagine, being down by 10 points about, what they need to concentrate on and just doing their job. I mean, some of the mistakes that we saw made are the reason that we see the score. So 2 big plays. We've got the big run back here, 102 yards, and the pick 6 that happened at the beginning of the game. And you take those 2 away, and it's a 3-7 ball game, and Heritage is on top. So it's a lot of mistakes, trying to get everything right. We'll see who they start as quarterback. I don't know if Isaac Washington is going to be the starting quarterback in this second half, or if they've just decided that they're going to go with Osby for the rest of the game. So
and you mentioned their original starting quarterback.
Nicky Smith. Young man's hurt.
Hurt in a way that he won't be back this season and needs to recover.
Correct. All right, well, the ball picked up right there at the 15, right up the middle.
He's finding some field.
And I tell you what, the blocking of Jaden Kay for the Highlanders is just unbelievable. That running back there, that runner there stepped in behind him and was able to get all the way out past the 40-yard line before he got stopped. So Kelso takes the ball over, first down and 10 from the 42. And here we go with the second half of play here at McKenzie Stadium. This is EPS Sports. Rodney Lawrence and Matt Griffin here beside me tonight. I want to welcome you guys watching on Comcast Channel 29. Noah, the running back, he's going to get about a yard out of that one.
Looks like we have a Heritage player who helped make that tackle, twisted his ankle on the play. Call the trainers out to check him out. I don't know if he twisted it during the tackle or if somebody came down on it wrong at the end of that play.
Not quite sure. Navarro, number 55, checks in to replace him. Hopefully the young man can walk off on his own, stretch it out on the sidelines, and get back in the game.
Come out, get it checked out, maybe stretch it out for a little bit. Certainly not as cold as it was last week.
No, not at all. So you should be able to, that will help a little bit, most definitely. Ricardo Cortez, the young man who seemed to have hurt his ankle, but he looks like he's going to be okay. And we'll resume play.
We'll keep an eye on him, see if he can make it back out of the game after a couple plays.
Quarterback decides to keep this one himself. Fumbles the ball. And the Heritage T-Wolves are going to recover it. So first big mistake by Kelso as they open up third quarter.
Well, and just as we were talking about mistakes, Heritage, way to capitalize on that.
Yeah, most definitely. That's going to be number 9. That's Alex Anderson who jumps on that ball. Alex Anderson having a pretty good night tonight.
Brady Culp heading out wide. He'll be at the top of your screen in just a second there.
All right, so Osmond is the starting quarterback for the second half for the T-Wolves. Handoff there to Bold.
He's going to get about 3 or 4 yards out of that one.
He does. Looks like he just barely gets across midfield. Nice little 3-yard push by Caden Bowles. Andre Cowley now. He'll take that handoff, breaks out into the open. He's going to make it down to the 20, down to the 10, down to the 5, and all the way in for the touchdown.
And that's how you come right back into a game.
That is definitely how you come right back into a game.
To start the second half.
Nice 48-yard run there by Andre Cowley. To close the gap here just a bit more on the score here. Kelso now 17, Heritage 13. Melanik the kicker here. Opportunity to bring this game back within 3 points. And it's going to get blocked. So another great special teams for the Highlanders. We'll see what kind of trouble this might create for these guys down the road. But we can't take anything away from that one play there.
No,
Cowley,
big
great
play.
drop. Great job. Nice push on the line. Once he got through got into the second level, there was nobody out there that was going to catch him. So early on in the second half, the T-Wolves able to capitalize on a turnover by the quarterback from Kelso. Big special teams opportunity here for the kickoff team to really come down here, make a stop. And so we don't see what we saw the last time that they got themselves close. Officials give the signal to go ahead and start the game here. Deep men standing at about the 15-yard line for Kelso. It's going to be a little pooch kick. It's going to be fair caught. And Kelso will take the ball over at the 33-yard line. Kelso huddled up there. We'll see how they want to take this on. Seems that all the Kelso players are actually wearing masks underneath their helmet out there, it looks like. Handoff right there. Looks like he's going to get about a yard. Tripped up by a Heritage defender. 2nd and 9. Cortez back into the game. Pass to the outside intended receiver is going to be Jaden Kay. Unable to bring that one in.
Little high, but even if it had been lower, Heritage right on top of that play.
They sure were. Lemire right there in his face to make the tackle. Cooper comes into the game as Noah checks out for the Kelso Highlanders. Trip receivers at the bottom. Rolls out, has a guy open, decides he's going to air this one out to Cooper. Looks like their feet got tangled up. No penalty flags.
Yeah, probably not enough there. Unintentional.
And that will bring out the Highlander punt team.
It's one of the few times that the Highlanders have been out on
so
downs.
Quick, yeah, 3 and out. That's pretty quick. Second series of the game, of the second half here, and Kelso still looking a little cold. Okay, takes the snap and the kick. High kick. It's going to be fielded, and he's going to take it up the field himself. Nice open field tackle there by the defender.
Hayden Miller, the sophomore, on the kick return.
Yep, and it looks like that was number 25, Kyle Spalding. Came up to make the stop at the end. The nice open field tackle. First down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Hands that ball off. Running back tries to just go right up the middle. He's going to run into a steel wall. He'll get that ball back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be about it. That is Bodie Parker, the ball carrier, 2nd and 10. So both Parker and Cowley in the game at the same time right now. Well, as I say that, Parker heads out of the game.
Eli Reynolds is one of the 2 players I saw coming back in. Eli Reynolds at the top of your screen there.
The other one is Lewis, J.S. Lewis. And we're going to get a delay of game call. And that's going to back them up 5. So now we're going to look at 2nd down and 15 as opposed to 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that call right there, we talked about this, has been problematic the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it sure has. It sure has.
Something that's just out of sync. The players and the officials just maybe not as much familiar with the rule.
Cowley's going to get the ball back to the 41-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Parker checks back into the game. Wings on both sides. Oh, and it looks like they've got another delay of game call. Does it feel quick?
It does feel quick.
Okay.
And without, I mean, you mentioned one of the officials who raises his hand as the
it'll be the back wing right here, the one who's standing behind the
down.
Defense.
But we're so used to having those on-field play clocks, and haven't seen them. Don't know if they're on the fritz.
Yeah, me neither. But I tell you what, that was a trick play. That was a reverse they were getting ready to run. And they decided to run it anyway.
And it's not going to work.
And it didn't work out for them. I tell you, on that play, actually, they tried to run the play 2 times in a row. I'm sure they figured it out the first time they tried to run it. But the running back should have stepped up inside, and he tried to get that to the outside. And it just didn't happen. One of the linemen was able to reach out and get his hands on his jersey, and that's it. So with that, that will bring out the punt team. As more yards were lost on that play as well. Barely gets that ball off, but it does take a good bounce. Cooper decides to let it go ahead and roll. Yep. And it's going to be downed at about the 32-yard line.
Pretty lucky bounce for a kick that
looks like it barely cleared the line.
As far as he has intended.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a penalty against the kicking team, so we'll see ultimately what that's going to look like. There's a flag on the 20-yard line. We'll see what, that could possibly be roughing the kicker, which would mean they could get the ball back. Let's see here what that ultimately ends up being.
Yep, so Heritage
they'll march off the yards.
Going to get the ball back. Is that going to make it, 4th and 3?
No, that's going to be an automatic first down. They'll get the 15 plus the automatic.
Gotcha.
He almost got it blocked, but they need to get out of the way if they're not going to block it. Because once you touch it, then it doesn't make a difference whether you hit him or not. But if you don't touch it, you cannot run into him.
Lucky break for Heritage.
Yeah, it sure is. Wing formation. And inside handoff right open in the middle of the field. Great job there for Parker. And a big stop there for Noah. Great open field tackle. But only after Parker is able to run off a big play and get the ball down to the 34-yard line. First down and 10 from the 34. Motion once again. This time Cali breaks wide open.
That's
over. He is not going to get caught this time. And they are on the scoreboard again for another touchdown.
And they are
Cali
back on
for
top.
his second touchdown of the second half.
Talking about, capitalizing on mistakes or penalties.
Yeah, that was it right there.
It's gone the other way at the start of this second half. Heritage on top by 2 points.
So for the first time in this game, Heritage takes the lead. 6:29 left in the third quarter.
Heritage really keeping their composure.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. Good chalk talk by the coach, and the offensive line, it seems to just be winning that battle down there in the trenches right now. They're going to get this one,
Blocked
but
again.
Looks like it got tipped. So let's hope that those two misses could come back to hurt them later on down this game. We'll see here. Kelso only up by 2 points, 19-17. Heritage definitely showing that they are winning the battle in the trenches offensively, getting big pushes. I mean, the hole there on those last 2 plays were just unbelievable. Nobody got touched.
Yeah, the offensive line has really tightened up their tactics here in the second half.
Yeah, they sure have. They sure have.
It's the Heritage cheer squad. No crowd in the stands, but able to take part in this normally year-round sport.
Yeah, right.
And so it's a good opportunity for those student athletes as well.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. They do a lot of practicing too, so they need to come out here show what they got as well. Kelso did not bring their cheerleaders with them on the road trip. Another pooch kick. And this time that's going to go out of bounds, so Kelso will get the ball on the 35-yard line.
And a flag on the play. I don't know what that was.
That's the penalty flag for the ball going out of bounds.
Okay.
Yep.
Rodney keeping me honest here. I was a runner. Rodney knows this. I know just enough about football to be dangerous. Just helping out because I know it's a lot to announce roughly 5.5 hours of football by yourself. So
I appreciate it, man. Definitely.
I'm here more for comic relief than anything. although I'm not very funny, so I'm not doing you any good in that regard either.
No, we're having a good time. Hey, football's on.
Right.
And kids are playing, and families are getting to enjoy their kids. So that's all it's about.
Back to doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Right, exactly.
After a long layoff.
First down and 10. Bad snap. And Kelso just looks like they're falling apart right now.
Very, very nearly a fumble there. He was good enough to fall down on it, but I think if that center had passed that back a little bit harder, that could have been a fumble.
Yeah, it sure could have. Okay, we're trying to stop the clock here. See what's going on here. If we got a clock management situation or not quite sure what's going on. I don't know if it's something with the chains or what the deal is.
Yeah, it looks like they're resetting the chains on the far side. Something got tangled up on their chain system. Good shot there by one of our crew. I don't know which one that is. Robert Maisie or Jacob.
It looks like they're working out. I don't know if it broke or it looks like they got it figured out now. So here we go.
Back in business.
Whitecap should wind us here in a quick second. We can continue play here. 6:07 left to play in the third. Slot receivers on the far side. Another high snap. So that's two bad snaps in a row. The first one was on the ground. The second one almost over his head. And we got a late penalty flag, so we'll see what's going on there. It looks like number 80 and Miller may have gotten a little tangled up here. And they're going to back them up even further now.
Well, this is about the deepest trouble Kelso has been in terms of long yards for a first down.
Yeah, it sure has. Well, that was a big 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct. Didn't see what really happened over there, but they marched off 15 yards against Kelso.
Yeah, a little hard to see again because we don't have our instant replay machine, which we can't set up because of coronavirus restrictions in our video production truck.
So 3rd and 32 here. Big play down. And we have another bad snap. And this time, that's going to be a safety, and Heritage is going to get 2 more points. So the points that they lost on the extra points, they got them back here now.
Right.
So not quite sure what's going on there between the center and the quarterback over there at Kelso, but that's 3 plays in a row where we did not get a good snap.
Well, and a tale of 2 halves where Heritage was having some of those handoff running play bobbles. Kelso having trouble communication with their center and their quarterback.
Sure are. So Heritage able to stretch their lead now to 4 points. Somebody's down there ringing the bell. Heritage getting excited about what's going on. Games like these, they have to be their own crowd.
Yeah, I
Pump
mean,
themselves up. You know, there's no home crowd advantage anymore.
well, and as far as high school football stadiums go, McKenzie Stadium is a really large stadium. We can pack a lot of people in here.
Yeah, we sure can.
And so, you know, credit to the cheer squad and, you know, both the home and guest teams for being their own spectators and supporters.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. So they'll be kicking this ball off from the 20-yard line. Heritage should get this football back in some decent field position. Good shot there of Aiden Miller. And we are ready to go. That ball's going to be fielded at about the 35-yard line. Miller trying to get across the field, and he's going to get wrapped up by number 14 from Kelso. And we've got man slow to get up there for Heritage. Can't see a number on him, so not quite sure who that is or what's going on with him at this point.
Looks like he's grabbing his ankle, but we've got the trainers out there checking him out.
Looks like he's going to
back
get up on his own. Oh, okay. That is Eli Reynolds. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Come out, stretch it, get it checked out.
Mm-hmm. Get back in the game. Alex Anderson checks in. Wings on either side. Got a man in motion. Another inside handoff to Parker. Parker's going to make it to the 45-yard line before he is brought down. That delayed handoff that actually goes and you hand it off on the inside like that, it's a pretty good play. That was Mountain View's bread and butter for years. And they used to kill people with that. And Heritage is now running their version of it and have seemed to be pretty successful with it so far. Drops back. And there is, you see how strong this young man's arm is, and you just kind of can't wait for him to mature out there, because him and the receiver are on the wrong page. The receiver broke that route to the inside, and he threw it to the outside. But the distance was there. If they were on the same page, that might have been another touchdown. 3rd down and 6. Another inside handoff to Parker. Parker's going to try to make it to the 50-yard line. He's going to get stopped. He'll get to the 48. Bring up 4th down.
It'll be what, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, 4th and 2?
4th and 2 here. Anderson runs in the play. Wing formation again. Cowley right up the middle, and he is not going to make it. Kelso's defense steps up here, and they will turn the ball over on downs right at midfield.
When on their last big drive, Heritage had 4 first downs?
Yeah, they did.
On their second to last touchdown drive.
So Kelso able to bend but don't break, if you will, defensively, and not allow Heritage to do much with the field position they had. So Heritage will take the ball over. Kelso will take the ball over at the 50-yard line, first down. Much better snap. Going to get that ball handed off to the running back, who rambles down the field and gets down across the 40, goes down on the 39-yard line. It's Kyle Spalding. First time we've seen him tonight handle the ball. But a nice hard run from that young man. And he has taken the running back spot right now. Connor Noah not the man in the game. And it looks like we had some problems with the chain again. Not quite sure what's going on down there, if it keeps detaching itself or what. They got to get this figured out pretty quick here so we can get this game continued.
It almost looks as though, it's broken off the.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Standard there.
Somebody's trying to put it back on. It looks like it might take a little longer than anticipated. They're going to send everybody back to their sideline. Game on hold here with 2:37 left to play in the third quarter.
Almost like a timeout for
Yeah.
for both teams,
Mhm.
but a chance for the Heritage side to talk about how to.
Well, talk about that last play.
Exactly.
And how great of a run and blocking job up front Kelso did. Looks like we may have got it figured out here.
Be back in business here in a second. Good for now.
All righty, everybody making sure everything's okay here.
It's one of those things where you don't necessarily expect to need a toolbox down on the sidelines
Exactly.
for something like this.
Right, exactly. Pair of needle-nose pliers, right, to kind of pinch it closed.
Right. Yeah, we've had to run down the hill to our shop a couple of times for a screwdriver or a socket set.
It's something, right?
It's pretty rare, but.
All right. Here we go. Kelso breaks the huddle. They got 2 receivers at the top of the screen. Spalding now the running back. They're going to give it to him again. He finds a wide open space, and he's going to get cut down right there at the 25-yard line. Touchdown saving tackles there by the safeties and the corner. It's going to be Eli Reynolds along with Aiden Miller. Both of those guys there to make that stop. I take that back. That was actually Parker, number 21. Spalding this time only able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Different type of runner than Connor Noah, the runner they had in a little earlier, he runs a little harder downhill. Noah, a little more of a slashier running back, so nice little running back to put in the game at the end when you kind of feel like the defense might be a little tired, and it's got somebody who's kind of a bull in the china shop coming through at you right now. He'll take the ball again. Nice tackle there by Bowles. He comes up from the safety position and makes that tackle right there at the line of scrimmage.
Well, like you said, a real aggressive up the middle running style, but not a lot of luck if Heritage is reading the play.
Yeah, sure isn't. That was number 3 who came up to make that. No, I take that back. That was Bowles. Number 2 came up to make that stop. Snap almost mishandled.
Heritage defense coming up big, 4th and 8.
Sure does. Matt loses actually ground on that one. Gets back to the 25-yard line, so that's going to bring up pretty much 4th and 9. 22 seconds left to play in the quarter. I do not believe that they might have enough time to allow this to just run out. We'll see if that is the plan. That looks like what they're ultimately going to do here. And that is. So that was the last play of the third quarter. We're on our way into quarter 4. Heritage goes into quarter 4 on top 21-17 over the Kelso Highlanders.
Well, and you could hear the cheers going up on the sidelines. Heritage, I think, thinks they're onto something.
Yeah,
here if they can,
I think
if
so.
they can make this stop. I would imagine. Wouldn't you think Kelso going to come out and punt?
They won't punt from here.
Well,
I mean,
I'm sorry, we're switching sides.
Yeah, we're switching sides. Yeah, we're coming to the other side.
And they're too far out for
a
field goal.
Yeah, that would be a 40-yarder right there.
We'll see what they have in store as we head into the fourth quarter.
I mean, piped in some music. I don't know if you guys can pick that up from our mics outside. There's our cheerleaders for the Heritage Timberwolves. Enjoying the scoreboard so far.
Well, that's the other thing that's very different about Friday night football with no spectators. We also can't have our pep bands in the stand.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was commenting to Ryan on that first week when you weren't here, how much better we could hear one another.
Yeah.
And then my coworker Wade Ferguson says, well, that's because the band's not here. And when they're here, it makes it much harder for anyone to hear because, man, they can pack a punch.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they sure can. Those bands are loud and big. All right, well, here we go. The start of the fourth quarter here. Here at McKenzie Stadium, this is EPS Sports. Quarterback's dropping back. Lets this one go. It's going to be almost picked off there. But great defensive effort by Aiden Miller, number 3, the sophomore. And Kelso will turn the ball over on downs. Heritage 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Sophomore quarterback Osbin has been the starting guy since quarter 2. Handoff right up the gut. He's going to run over a defender, get a couple of yards out of that, and make it down to the 28-yard line. All right, well, Cowley just limped out of the game. We'll kind of find out what happened to him. He's got a trainer working with him. We'll kind of keep you up on what that's going to look like here later on. Another hand up, right in, comes in right in behind the fullback. This time that's going to be Bolds. Now Parker checks back into the game.
There's a equipment issue, spare shoe out there. I think we got it sorted out.
Eli Reynolds comes in with the play. Third down. They need to make it to the 39-yard line for the first down. This time the coach is going to go ahead and call a timeout and talk about this for a little bit. Make sure everybody's on the same page here. Andre Cowley still on the ground down here. Trying to figure out and make sure he's okay. Okay, looks like he's up now. We'll see what's going on with him, see if he gets back into the game. Looks like whatever happened to him, he's trying to walk it off now and get himself ready to get back into the game. Coach Moody breaks the huddle there. Here we go. They need to get to the 39-yard line. And they are going to make it with a nice run there by Bolds. So timeout, well worth it. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Parker in motion. They're going to give it to Parker. Parker looks for the edge, plants that foot, and gets upfield. He's going to make it to about the looks like the 39-yard line. We'll get about 3 yards out of that carry. Already, here comes man in with the play. Anderson slotted out wide here at the bottom. They're going to bounce this to the outside. It's going to be a foot race. Let's see if there's anybody's going to get. They've got the angle on him, and they're going to run him out of bounds right there at about the 20-yard line. But great run there by Bolds. And then it looks like there might be a little extracurriculars that happened outside of the field of play there by number 14 from Kelso. And we'll see if they end up flagging that.
Yep.
And that was against Kelso. So after the big run, they're going to tack another 15 onto it. And that looks like that'll be first and goal from the 10-yard line. So now Heritage getting the opportunity to stretch the lead even further. Play ran in by Colt. Hand off to the main man going in. That's going to be Bowles, but he's going to get down inside the 5 before they say his momentum has been stopped. Ball spotted right there on the 4-yard line. 3rd down.
This has been a great drive by Heritage. I mean, they're just 4 yards out from really giving Kelso a really tough hill to climb.
Yeah, they sure are. Single receiver, that's Bolts. They're going to hand this off on the fly sweep. Tries to turn that up.
Good for a couple yards anyway.
And that is going to be Lemire, who tries to get that ball into the end zone. Heritage taking their time between each play, running out as much as the clock as possible. It has caught them slipping a couple of times because of that method, but you know, slow the game down, grind it out, and just, you know, keep these guys off the field.
Well, and here we go.
And he just raised his hand, so it looks like in that, that's it, right? We got a timeout called this time before they
well, and
Coach
Moody could see that.
Yeah.
They weren't really all on the same page, so
no, not
good,
at all.
Good timeout there.
Yep, that was his second one of this half. So he only has one left. Kelso still has all 3 of theirs. The Highlanders coming down to play this game. I don't know how many more times they're going to come down here while we are broadcasting.
Yeah.
You have to play everybody, but not everybody. They're not going to play everybody here in our stadium. They are, like most know, they are part of the GSHL, one of the further teams that are in our league. So they make a nice little trip up down the I-5 corridor here to make it out here to see us. Bowles running back, give him the ball again.
I'm not so sure. Looks like they stopped him just short.
It looks like they did stop him just short. And they're going to turn that ball over on downs. So great job there by the Kelso defense. To not give up once they got down there inside the 5-yard line and still hold these guys out of there.
Well, good news for Heritage is their defense has been playing really well, and Kelso, if they need to score, they do need to score, has a 99-yard march ahead of them.
Yeah, they sure do. Handoffs straight up the gut just to give them a little room here, I would imagine. That's going to be Connor Noah, number 3 on the carry.
And we could come to a point where clock management becomes really important.
Yeah, it sure could be. Sure could be. Once again, Noah lined up deep, hands the ball off in the backfield. Nice hard run there as he gets the ball out to the 11-yard line. That will be enough to move the chains. This is the time of game where Kelso needs to pay close attention to ball protection, because Heritage will be trying to strip the ball on every tackle at this point right now. So they have to hold on to that football real well. All right, Kelso lines up in a 3-receiver set here. Drops back, looks for his man deep. Is able to get the ball to him, but he stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
Great catch. Zeke Smith did great athletic catch right there. He outran the defender. Also a great throw by the quarterback. Just outside the field to play, not to be able to bring that one in, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. That incomplete pass stops the game clock at 5:46. And it looks like we've got encroachment against Heritage. So that'll give Kelso a little more room and bring up 2nd down and 5. Zeke Smith comes back into the game. Trips to the wide side of the field once again. Number 11, Colby Cooper out there makes a good catch. Gets that ball out to the 22, 1st down and 10. This time they have 2 receivers on either side.
Almost a fumble there.
Yeah, quarterback's got to be lucky. Latier very lucky that ball kind of bounced back up into his lap. And he was able to scratch out a couple of yards as opposed to losing yards or possibly even just possession of the ball. So just the fullback in the backfield sends a man in motion. Once again. They're still going to catch him for a loss. Jack Warren had an opportunity for a big loss on there and a nice little pop and spin off by the running back over there, Cooper. But Heritage was all over that play. Quarterback drops back, looking for an opening with big number 80, just off the hands. Unable to bring that in, so that will bring up 4th down, and it should bring the punt team out on the field for Kelso, and it does. Four minutes to play in the game. Kelso down by 4. 21-17. Oh, another big snap.
And that is going to be.
And that will push it out by 6. They have just had a tough time with their snaps. I'm wondering if it's the same guy.
We were talking about not seeing 6 2-point conversions. I don't know that I've seen 2 safeties in a while.
Right.
But those mistakes can happen.
Yeah, they sure can. They sure can.
Kelso rattled,
yeah.
I think, now.
Yeah, they sure
had
are.
such a very confident first half. But the second half has all been Heritage, both on offense and defense.
Yeah, it sure has. It sure has. And this is going to set up another kickoff that's going to put Heritage in some good field position.
And here's the part where Heritage, just by being really patient, nice, safe plays, can run out the clock.
They sure can. They sure can. All right, we will see here. Kelso ready to kick this off. Deepest man standing on about the 35-yard line.
Yep.
Caught that on his knee, so killed the ball.
Heritage will take over on what, 41-yard line or so?
They sure will. Still some good field possession there. All right, Osmond sets him up, hands that ball off to Lemire. First running back coming through. They're going to give Lemire to the 44-yard line. Kelso calls their first timeout of the second half here, stopping the clock at 3:46. So clock management is definitely something that they need to pay attention to.
And you said, Rodney, after this, does Heritage have one left?
Yeah. Yes, they do have one timeout left. So pretty cautious area for both teams because Kelso can still win this game with a touchdown and an extra point. If so, so Heritage just still have to be careful.
Right.
They can't lose focus here. Second down and 7. 3:46 left to play. Kelso has 2 timeouts. Heritage has 1. Parker in motion. Another inside handoff. Steps up in the middle. Breaks open wide in the middle of the field. He is not going to be caught on this as Bold streaks across the field down to the touchdown and puts this game essentially out of reach.
Caden Bold. I talked about time management. Nothing to manage there.
No.
When you find a hole that wide and that much open field, go for it by all means.
Yeah, most definitely.
And so that's a 2-touchdown ball game right there.
It is. Caden Bowles does a great job busting right up the middle. Well, he didn't have to bust open anything. It opened up wide open for him. And that play has been successful for him every time they've ran it tonight except for once, I think. And then, other than that, it's been a great play. And this time they were able to get the extra point to tack on with it.
Yeah, I had a couple extra points blocked earlier in the game, but threw the uprights on that one. And Heritage up 30-17.
Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. And you kind of asked me earlier, right at the beginning of this this second half, what do I think Coach Moody was saying to these guys, and I mean, like I said, he was pretty animated. Actually, the entire coaching staff that talked were all very animated about what they felt this team needed to do to pull out the win in the second half, and the players have definitely stepped up and played much better football the second half than they did the first half. We have to give the Heritage offensive line a bunch of credit here in this second half of play. They have won that battle, and they have been able to get the Kelso D lineman off the ball to give their running back some space to get loose. Set up here for the kickoff. And that ball's got to get kicked out of bounds, directly out of bounds. So Kelso will take this ball over on the 35-yard line. First down and 10.
I think you might be able to hear that on the ambient mic.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Do not let up. Telling coaching staff, telling the T-Wolves not to let up, because we've seen, at least in the first half, Kelso can strike quickly.
Yeah, they sure can. They sure can. And because we have no fans in the stands, our listeners and watchers can kind of feel like the players are mic'd, because you hear everything that's being said down there from coaches and players in some situations. Drops back, rolls out, lets that ball go. Almost there to bring that one in. Number 22 on the field did land wrong. I would imagine he got that looks like that's one of those plays where he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, he's walking it off.
Yeah, Kyle Killam came down on top of, came down underneath the receiver, Cooper. Connor Noah moves out there to a receiver position. Nice catch out there on the outside. To number 6, Ethan Moyer. That'll move the chains.
About 11 yards on that play. Steps out of bounds just outside the chains. Good enough for a first down.
All right, back to slot receivers down here at the bottom. Quick pitch out to the running back. Trying to find something, and I tell you what can you say about the young man, the young sophomore, Aiden Miller, who comes from the safety position and makes a pop like that.
Stops that play in its tracks.
Sure does, sure does. Great job by that young man. Coming downhill hard to make the stop. Second down and 8. Quarterback rolls out. Great snag there by the receiver. It looks like it might have had the opportunity to get picked off. Keegan Connor there to pull that one in. Oh, maybe he did not. Maybe he did drop it. It looked like he had caught it, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Aiden Miller was there for the pick, though. Sets up again, 3 receivers here at the bottom.
I think that's going to be.
Are they going to call it a catch? No, they are going to call it a catch right there. Right there at the 36-yard line. Nice control there by Keegan Connor. Fourth down and 2. Kelso has taken their fullback out of the game here. And tried to pump fake that, and the ball got away from him. So it is considered a forward pass, it looks like, so they're going to turn that ball over on downs anyway.
Great work by the Heritage defense on that play.
Yeah. Getting up in the passing lane right now, not allowing Latier to get that ball off like he wanted to. So first down and 10 from the 36-yard line.
Well, on the way Heritage has been running this offense, there's plenty of time on the clock to do something else.
Yeah, there sure is. There sure is.
Almost got away from him.
He sure did. Decided to take that one and just go down himself.
Rather than run the risk. He's going to run some time off the clock, no.
But with that play, Kelso decides that they're going to use one of the 2 timeouts they have left. Anything's possible. Looking at second down and 14. You know, I'm impressed tonight with the way the Timberwolves have been tackling. They haven't missed a lot of tackles. I mean, when they're there to make the contact, there generally not much happens after that.
Well, and those first 2 touchdowns from Kelso in the first half really wasn't, the fault of bad tackling.
No,
it's
not
just
at all.
Great runners who found a lot of open field.
They are not afraid to hit hard. They demonstrated that tonight. And a handoff right there. Make it down to the 35-yard line. Wyatt Scott, the ball carrier there, number 28. Kelso uses their last timeout, stopping the clock at 2:10. I think what Kelso's going to have to think about here in the second half when they kind of look at film on Saturday or Sunday, and I'm sure they're looking at it as it just looks like they just got a little worn out and a little tired here in the second half. And then, some big miscues between the center and the quarterback that kind of helped put this game out of range for him. Parker in motion. Another inside handoff. This time, Kelso right there on top of it and is not going to give them anywhere to go. Lemire wrapped up as soon as he gets the football. And that is going to create another loss there for Heritage. And that's going to bring up fourth down, and it looks like 15. So the punt team comes onto the field. Cooper backs up for Kelso, standing at around the 45-yard line. And Heritage is going to use their final timeout here. Minute 24 left to play in the game. You know, you kind of wonder why you call a timeout this late in the game with the situation as it stands. But, that just shows that you coach from horn to horn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
whistle to whistle. You're always coaching the players up, making sure everybody's on the same page.
And, you know, of course, Heritage in a really commanding position.
Yep.
And so why not take the opportunity, like you said, to just keep coaching, keep teaching.
Yep.
You know, there's players out there that don't have as much experience as some others, and teach them what we're going to do.
Here we go. You got somebody who, he got across there real quick. They're going to get 5 extra yards on this to re-kick it, but number 14 for Kelso was back there a little too fast. So they'll march off the 5 and make it 4th and 10 and try this again. So low roller they get off. Cooper's going to pick it up on the bounce. And he is not going to go anywhere as Aiden Miller brings him down just below midfield. So Kelso takes the ball over on their own 48 with 1:14 left to play. Here takes the snap, drops back, looking for a receiver. Has a man open in the middle of the field. And it's going to be picked off for an interception right there in the middle of the field. Cope right there to take that as it pops out of the hands of the receiver coming across the middle. Heritage sidelines just starting to feel the victory. To celebrate a little bit here.
A couple plays left in the game.
And they're going to essentially kneel their way out of this game now. Tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to Heritage and how they came back and played in the second half. Yeah.
They just seemed rattled by some small mistakes in that first half, and
they
what
sure did.
what a way to respond.
It sure did. The coaches have to be real proud of the way these kids came back here in the second half.
And that'll be it. Very
looks
commanding.
like that will run to the end here. Everybody will do the traditional wave as opposed to meeting on the 50 because of COVID-19.
I want to thank everybody for watching tonight on Comcast and on YouTube. Reminder that this game will be available on our YouTube channel as a live stream, and then I'll upload a condensed version without the pre-show camera tweaking on Monday, and then you'll be able to rewatch it on Comcast over the next month or so on replay.
All righty. Well, with that being said, we want to thank everybody for joining us here at EPS Sports on, once again, a great night of Friday Night Football. Be sure to stay up on all the games in our area, and we're going to broadcast everything we can from here from McKenzie Stadium. I'd like to thank you. This is Rodney Lawrence and Matt Griffin. Thanks for being with me tonight.
Yep, thanks for letting me
Everybody, we appreciate you listening and hanging in there with us. You guys have a good evening and good night.